The King was flying in the Petty Pontiac in preparation for his final Daytona 500. He set the early mark for the General Motors cars. He was later topped by Rusty Wallace, whose Pontiac was the only GM make over 190 miles per hour. When the Fords invaded Daytona, last year's pole sitter Davey Allison beat the times of all the GM competitors, but he was not even close to the month's top gun. Phil Parsons, who took over the Melling ride vacated by Bill Elliott, didn't let his as-yet unsponsored team down as he was quicker than the Haviland driver. Was Sterling Marlin in a Junior Johnson Ford legal? He went out and turned the fastest lap of the month, but some of his fellow competitors said his Thunderbird would not fit this year's template. Marlin's team swore it would. Regardless, Marlin got bragging rights for the month of December among all makes with a lap of just over 193 miles per hour, followed by Parsons in the Melling car, Morgan Shepherd driving for the Wood brothers, Wally Dallenbach Jr. in the second Roush car, with Allison completing the Ford parade. They'll have another shot at the 2.5-mile track later this month. In other testing news, who's that behind the wheel of Eddie Cheever's
Cup Racing as voted on by their peers? Larry McReynolds from Davey Allison's crew was named the first-team crew chief in his initial appearance as a finalist, but Richard Childress's championship squad placed 5 on the first team to outpace everyone. Dale Earnhardt led the way as the top driver, with Kurt Shelberdine once again making the team as tire changer. Joining McReynolds on the first team for Robert Yates Racing were engine builder Larry Wallace, among others. Ricky Rudd's crew was represented by Dan Ford, a repeat winner, while these other 3 were finalists for the first time. Now, in its 5th year, the All-Pro program awards first-team winners with $1,000 and gifts. In all, over $50,000 in cash and prizes were handed out to the top 3 in each specialty. Now, last night, the Busch Grand National Series gathered in formal wear to honor its 1991 champion, Bobby Labonte. The Texas native received $96,000 in postseason bonuses, bringing last year's earnings to a cool $250,000.
Well, I tell you, it's really something, you know, to be able to be here tonight amongst a lot of other drivers that have won this championship and a lot of them that haven't. You know, there's a lot of talent out there, and to be where we're at is just overwhelming. You know, it's just, I can't say a whole lot about it. Just the fact of I'm just thrilled to be here, and, you know, just looking forward to compete next year in the Busch Grand National Series.
All right, series runner-up Kenny Wallace was named most popular driver. Although the official 1992 schedule wasn't released, look for TNN to televise more than half of the Busch Grand National Series next season. Now, also last night in California, the American Auto Racing Writers and Broadcasters Association, Aruba for short, honored its 1991 All-American team. 12 of this year's best drivers were saluted for standout performances. Dale Earnhardt and Harry Gant were the stock car honorees. Coming up next, it's been one of the worst-kept secrets in racing the past 6 months, but it's finally a done deal. Bill Elliott and Junior Johnson have joined forces, and Bill will join us next. Stay with us. Other racing items of note from the past few weeks: sensational alcohol star and funny car champion Pat Austin will have a slightly different look on his 2 entries next year. Red Wing Shoes comes aboard as an associate sponsor on both cars. Now, last season, Austin became the first man to win 2 eliminator classes at the same race. Meanwhile, ASA's winningest driver, Bob Seneker, has defected from Chevrolet and will run Ford sheet metal this season. Seneker returns to the Ford camp after a 5-year absence, during which he won his only ASA championship. And one of Ford's premier drivers in Winston Cup has finally been able to go public with his new car owner this past Thursday. Bill Elliott and Junior Johnson posed for pictures and announced that they will be together for 1992. The deal has been known for months, but couldn't be officially revealed until the new year. Budweiser will be the sponsor, and Bill is right here in the studio, and I know that you're just glad to be able to go ahead and say it and get it over with.
Yeah, I kind of got out of the closet, so to speak.
Yeah.
But, you know, it has been, you know, the last several years have been kind of trying years, you know, with our past race team. And I'm glad now that I think with being with Junior, I can let Junior do the necessary day-to-day stuff, let Tim Brewer, he'll be the crew chief, work on the race car, you know, and I can take care of Budweiser, Amoco, and Ford, and I think that'll be a good relationship.
I think with you particularly, you go back to the $1 million, you go back to all the great things that you've done, and the 35 wins or so, 34 wins that you've posted in your career. The fans have had such an emotional attachment to you. You think it'll be tough on them to see you go away from, family and to move on to a new team? Did you even think about those things?
Yeah, there was a lot of things went through my head making all this decision. Harry and I talked a lot going into making this decision. Harry, man, I guess we've got the best relationship now we've ever had, as far as stronger than ever. And Ernie and I talked, and we kept trying to hash over the things that we need to do to take care of everything. And we kept putting it together, and finally the day came that I think I should move on. And really, I've left, but I've not left, so to speak. I won't be driving the 9 car next year, or this year, and that'll be kind of a different feel. I think when I go down pit road now and I start to get in which car, it'll be hard to determine which one. And we've done some testing, and I didn't know whether to get on our old truck or Junior's truck, because that's all I've ever known throughout my lifetime. And but I'm still not left, so to speak, because I'll still run a Busch car out of the shop down there, and it'll be sponsored by Budweiser and Amoco. Harry Melling will still be involved with me on it. Ernie will continue to do the engines on it. I think he'll also do the engines for Phil Parsons' program, and Phil will drive the 9 cars, already been announced. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of things that will still be the same. It'll be different, but it'll be the same. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. It'll give me a new perspective on things, make me look at things a little differently.
All right, you came up in stock car racing, and the name Junior Johnson has been something you saw as a fan, then as a driver, then as someone you compete against. But today you're driving for Junior Johnson. Is it, when you first sat down in the 11 car, did you think to yourself, did I ever think it would ever get this far?
Well, no, not really, because each time you get in a race car, no matter if it's Junior's or Harry Melling's or somebody you drive out on the road, it's just another race car. But
right.
There again, Junior's reputation of building race cars, has been there. I mean, throughout all the years, and he's put together some pretty competitive cars throughout the years, and I don't see that 92 is going to be no exception. With Tim, seems like he's got a new attitude looking at things, and I think with he and I getting the newness worn off the first couple of races, through testing, I mean, we've done everything just like we normally do it. I know kind of what I want out of the race car. He knows what he needs to do, and we've hadn't had any problem whatsoever. I'm sure there'll be rough spots down the road, but I think all in all, he's got a goal to win races. I've got a goal to win races. Put us together, and we'll do some good.
We wish you the very best. Good luck this coming 500, and good luck testing, and appreciate you spending some time with us.
Thank you.
All right, it's time for this week's Pocono Track Fact Sweepstakes, in which you can win $500 and 2 tickets to one of Pocono's Winston Cup races this season, either the June 14th Champion Spark Plug 500 or the July 19th Miller Genuine Draft 500. To be eligible to win, you need to send your name, address, and a phone number to Pocono Track Fact Sweepstakes, P.O. Box 500. Long Pond, Pennsylvania, 18334. That address again, P.O. Box 500, Long Pond, Pennsylvania, 18334. Here is this week's Pocono Track Fact. ARCA and NASCAR sportsman races are run on Saturday before each of Pocono's Winston Cup events. If you receive a call within 30 minutes after our show, you'll know, and you know the track fact, you'll win $500 and the tickets, plus you'll become eligible for the grand prize, $1,000 and a trip to the 1992 Daytona 500. Stick around, we'll be right back.
And it's another day of sub-freezing.
It's your boss on the phone.